Hey everybody, this is Steve at OpenBOM, and let's take a look at the two ways we can identify an assembly in a SolidWorks assembly, SolidWorks subassembly, as a purchased assembly. I want to focus here on this hinge. So this is a hinge on my bathroom cabinet, as you can see, and I've built a bill of material with it. But my bill of material gave me a hinge assembly with all the bits and pieces underneath it. That's probably really not what I wanted. Yeah, I modeled it that way in SolidWorks with the pin and the left hinge and the right hinge, but I'm probably going to buy this as a hinge assembly. So let's see what we can do to get that to show up like how we want it in OpenBOM. So there's two ways to do this. The first is to use a feature from the top level assembly that's in the properties called Envelop. So if I come down here and I set this hinge to an envelope, that checkbox there tells OpenBOM, hey, when I build the bill of material for this thing, don't include the bits and pieces underneath it. Okay, so I've set that to envelope. I'm creating the BOM. Here we go. Let's take a look at our BOM now. Okay, that's pretty good. We see we've got a hinge assembly. I don't have any parts underneath it. I'm viewing multi-level. It's identified still as an assembly, but it's a single line item. This is good. I could send this BOM to my purchasing people and they would buy a hinge. Okay, that's one way to do it. But what that means is every time I use this hinge assembly in some other assembly, I have to go through this setting it to envelope. So let's look at a better, more permanent way to set that. So I'm gonna make sure that I've got envelope turned off. Let's go back here and uncheck envelope. And so now let's open up this assembly. Now, so that first type was setting it to envelope at the top level. The second of the two ways to do this is to go into the hinge assembly and the properties for the configuration and tell the configuration to hide all the children. So we're going to do that right down here, children component display. We're going to set it to hide. We're going to save that. We're going to close this and tell SolidWorks to update my assembly. And now let's build our BOM again. So what we're doing now is OpenBOM is building that bill of material. It's opening up the hinge subassembly. It's recognizing that the children are set to hide. We're not bringing them. And once again, we now have the hinge assembly as a single line item, denoted as an assembly, but I don't get any of those subpieces. So the second method is a bit more portable. It does require that you have write access to the hinge assembly subassembly. So I like using the method number two if I have write access. If I'm consuming maybe an assembly from one of my colleagues, maybe a pump or something else, and I don't have write access to it, I can still get that same purchase assembly behavior by using the envelope feature. So I hope you find that helpful. I would love to hear from you at support@openbom.com. Thanks.